Hi everybody. So I think yeah, let's start. Okay, first of all, really, I think we have plenty of space. I really want to thank to Soho House. Really, I think you guys did a fantastic job. We have I mean, first of all, also we are going live on Instagram. So say hi to everybody. Well, they can only see me, but I just want to make sure that first of all, I want to say thanks to Soho House because they did a fantastic job to accommodate us. I mean, I know that is safety and health is a concern right now, and I think they're doing a fantastic job on giving us this very ample room. And they're going to take good care of us. So do enjoy yourselves. I think I can see it looks like a cinema. Yeah. Super comfortable. So first of all, that's yeah, sure. That's also I'm a bit nervous because this is actually the first time, and for me this is kind of like a big milestone. What is happening? So just bear with me. I really want to say thank you for coming. I know that it was a big ask given the circumstances. I mean, I can understand you guys. Well, some of you guys just finished our Basel in Fine Art Asia. Thank you very much. And it was pressure, knowing opening the newspapers and saying that you don't know if it's going to happen, if it's not going to happen, if it's going to be blocked, and so on. Same as Parasite. Parasite had the dinner, the fundraising a week before, right? It was and it was the same thing, opening the newspapers and the stress. I can send that stress, and even for me that I'm doing this very small event. I mean, knowing that there was a very high chance that I had to cancel it was a bit of a flop, because for me it meant a lot. This is I don't know how many years of I mean years. I mean, probably it's a childhood dream that is actually materializing or getting into another step. Because I mean, for me, art is pretty much everything. It means it shapes me. It feeds me. It makes me who I am. And I think for all of us that we are all here related in the art industry, we all live thanks to art and this art expression. So it is a big moment, and I really wanted to share this with the people that actually had helped me pretty much since day one. I mean, some of you have come pretty much later, but people like Willem or the Desar family, you have been with me pretty much since day one, or Exit, Hilda, since the very early days when I was walking in and like being like the little guy that had no idea what I'm talking about, just liking what I see, and then getting that guidance was quite valuable. And I really wanted to do this little get together to really say thanks. Like I really mean it. Like really, what you guys have done, the little chats, the little coffees, the little conversations, the beers at the Parasite dinner, it meant a lot. I consume information, and every little chat, every little laugh is feeding something in my head, and new ideas are coming in. And this is one of those projects. So I have prepared a little speech. This is going to be short, probably about 5 minutes, hopefully. And yeah, I hope you guys. I mean, the speech is primarily. I really want to explain why I'm doing this. I think it is I think I need to tell my story. I think everybody deserves to know why I'm so mad about this. And because people ask me like, why are you doing this? Like makes no sense. And I'm like, well, it makes sense to me. And I think that's what matters. And also because we also have a young collector here, so we need to inspire her and get her up. Saying like no pressure, but it's a beautiful journey. If you keep going and you keep experimenting, you find that it's very rewarding. So yeah, let me start with my little few words that I have. So first of all, really thanks everybody for coming. It really means a lot to me having you all here. So let me introduce myself. Certainly you all know me, but I want to make a proper introduction, especially for the people on Instagram. That I'm Jacobo Garcia. I'm the founder and director of the Divide by Zero collection. And we are here tonight to witness the execution of hold on, no, let me start with a video. Yes, hold on. Before I go and ranting about life and everything else, I want to show a 1 minute video. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I want to show what we are launching, and we are launching here together with Iman from the Redfish team. She is technically the designer of this beautiful space, and I will let her talk later about her side of the story, like how this came about. But what you're going to see here is a 1 minute video that is probably a 1 year or more in the making of brainstorming ideas. And I have to say that all what you're going to see here has tons of inputs from all of you guys. All these thoughts and is usually condensed on this. So this is it. This is the art space. So it was brief, but no, thank you very much. But a lot of work went into that. So yeah, let's go ahead with the speech. I practiced the whole night last night, so I really want to go through it. So yeah, so we are here to open this particular space. So I did it in collaboration with the production company Redfish, Iman here. I'm opening this space to promote arts in new and innovating means beyond traditional brick and mortar. For me, it has been quite special, especially the situation that we're going through right now, COVID, that has been extremely very restrictive, social mobility and so on. I personally believe that every challenge has an opportunity, and it requires creativity to start thinking outside the box and finding new ways to keep moving. Because I mean, for those who are familiar with physics and the second law of thermodynamics, it's just time goes in one single direction. It cannot stop, right? It cannot be reversed or not even slow down. So you need to keep moving, and you need to get creative. You cannot just be passive. You need to keep moving, and then there you go. Then and then it started like this, and then so since 2019, based on these big changes that were happening, I started exploring in different digital alternatives to present the collection's compendium of works. I realized after like 6-7 years of collecting art and having a motivation for grouping certain works, that when I start seeing them all together, I realized that certain pieces start telling stories, right? Like, okay, there's a certain rationale between these particular works, and I realized like I want to take the collection to the next level. I want to tell these stories, and eventually I decided like, okay, but how can I do it? Eventually, at the beginning, I was trying to explore like perhaps we can do like a physical exhibition, but you guys know better than I do how much that costs, like insurance and shipping and handling and so on. And I'm a little guy. I have to say, I'm a tiny. The smallest potatoes you can possibly find. But then I kept experimenting, and eventually I found a company in Canada. It's a startup. It's called Argate VR, and they were doing these shows. They were launching this particular technology in virtual reality, and I thought it was quite interesting. Yeah, to to perhaps start like promoting art in very digital means. Because for me, what I realized is what it gives, because for me as a collector, because I don't have a commercial side per se, for me what was very important was reach. I wanted to have reach, and technology certainly gave me that opportunity. And then I decided like, okay, let's start experimenting with this. So with Artgate VR in April 2020, earlier this year, I decided to start collaborating with them, and I did my first show in that medium, which is in the Oculus. For people that are familiar with virtual reality, Facebook has a company called Oculus, and they do the platform and so on, and the apps and so on. So we decided to develop something there. I wrote my first show, which was it's called Shaped by 30 Years Within Four Walls. Then it was primarily works that I collected. There was a compendium of works telling the transition between the 80s until 2010, which I think for me the 80s, that breakdown there was an explosion I always found that prior to the 80s the social norms were a bit more rigid, and then on the 80s really exploded. There was this massive like a breakthrough, especially culturally. Then we start seeing like all the glam rock and so on, and I did see that I had a massive transition, and I collected a series of works. Among those from our good friend here, Mac, a fantastic artist, by the way. Yes. Which is actually, you made it the cover of that show, and everybody loved that work. And it was that transition of that show. And when I put the show up, and we did it in Artgate VR, again, it was my first show. I had no idea what I was doing. And when I saw the reception, especially because we did it in live stream on Facebook and so on, I got over 1,000 people attended that show. And that for me was overwhelming for someone that I did it for the first time, and in knowing that over 1,000 people were interested in what I was saying. That actually gave me that was very surprising, very encouraging, and I realized that this test actually is proving something, right? That is the possibility to reach out and curate for wider global audiences is possible through technology. So the art space that I'm opening right now is actually, you can see, is actually like a proper facility. And what I want to use this facility, because one of the biggest complaints that I got about virtual reality is how tight it is, because you need to have the headset and so on, which I understand it. But again, as a good listener, I hope I am. I got a lot of people here told me that same feedback, and I continue listening, right? Okay, I understand the complexity of having a headset and so on. And then at one point I was discussing this with a man. We are very good friends. And then we decided, hey, what are we do something else that is not necessarily so restricted. You don't need to have a headset. So we started bouncing ideas, experimenting with ideas and so on. And then we decided to do something that is applicable for web and iPhone and so on. So we created this space. And what my intention to use this space is actually to do more shows. I want to do the VR, because the VR is totally separate. The VR you can actually communicate, talk, you can actually be like in a room. On this one is a bit more visual, but again, it fits my story, it fits my purpose, because what I want to do is to tell stories. That is my goal. I want to tell the reason why I like Lulu's work so much and why they relate, or Mac, which your show is coming, another show, I have you for another show. I want to do that. I want to tell those stories. And in a minimum, certainly very affordable means, because for me what is important here is reach. I want to reach out. And it's proven quite successful. I'm very glad that I got reached out by people that are pretty much from all over the world. And I have been two beautiful stories. I got recently reached out by this student. She was finishing her master's at Sotheby's, and she actually asked me to help her out with her paper, with her thesis, and because she's seen what I'm doing and so on. And then we actually had that interaction. And the fact that I'm helping people out through this exercise is very rewarding, which actually gives me that encouragement that I'm on the right path. Hopefully, this is going to eventually evolve into something bigger, but I'm believing what I'm doing. I think it has potentially has certainly depth and perspective, and I want to continue. And you guys are all big. You guys are being part of this. So there's something that I also want to talk about, which is the reason why I established the collection. So I opened this show, but this show is going to run by a collection, and this collection has a motto, has a purpose, has a soul, and which is I like to explore works, and this is like a discussion that I have with a lot of people, because it's very difficult. Art is extremely subjective, right? And it's all about pretty much interpretation, right? And when I get actually about people like why you're collecting this art and why you're collecting this art and so on, and they have all the different reasons, you need to have that sense of like self-confidence on yourself, because I do find that when I started this project, and William has been with me pretty much since the beginning when we did the 3-part essay, there was actually a big self-reflection, like why I'm doing this. And I realized that this was a personal journey to try to understand like why I'm collecting and why I'm collecting this particular series of works. And I realized that what I find fascinating about collecting or appreciating art is that intellectual stimuli, that the fact that you are analyzing the subjective, is an artist's interpretation of his surroundings, is that even the artist himself might not necessarily see it so explicitly, but the person is an artist are very sensitive people. They are absorbing that surrounding, and they express it out, even if it's the most bizarre, abstract expression or figuration. There's a logic to it. There's a sense to it, and I do find that so intriguing. This is the word that I wrote in my speech. It says it's irresistible. I cannot resist it. I cannot resist to see Mac's works, for example, when she, like the one that you had recently in One Shy, the one with the nails. I think that work was so beautiful. And so many artists. I mean, Lulu's with your simplicity and your minimalism, and so yours also are quite minimal. Gervila's work. I do find that aspect, and usually that's the same approach that you see on academia, right? On all the books that try to relate the particular movement to a particular context in history, because it relates, it resonates, and I do find that. And for me, I want to be more experimental. I want to take these spaces, not necessarily to collect already established artists, which I mean I do have, and I try to mix them together. But I really want to be kind of like ahead of the curve. I really want to start exploring new figurations, new expressions, new trends, new social dynamics. This is the reason why my Instagram sometimes I post like the most random thing, is because I do see that there are certain developments that are shaping reality in one way or another one. And I do find that those interpretations into an artistic expression or into creativity overall, I found that fascinating. It is what makes me tick, and I think that is actually what I want to do. Translate that to the collection. The collection is here to observe empirically. We are not necessarily, we don't come from an academic background, but we are part of a society. We are part of this planet and of this reality, and we are part of this market. We're part of the art market, and we really want to participate in it by interpreting what we see. For example, the second show that I did, it was all about, I called it Let's Talk About Millennials, the show that I did in Argeviad in September 20. It was quite interesting because I eventually broke it down in 3 different figurations, which was nostalgia, which was an interesting, very difficult piece to write, because I mean, I could talk to Yi, because she helped me a lot to bounce a lot of ideas. I did nostalgia. There was urbanism, but that one was made more obvious, and then super flat expressionism, which was fascinating to write. It was fun. A lot of because that one is like the one that resonates more with the young people. With I mean, we were the Christies today, and we saw Marizaki and Naras and so on. This is like what is dominating the market right now. You try to understand why, because what I do sense that especially with millennials are really here to not to adhere to the old, and they're really millennials and Gen Zs, the generation that follows, they really want to break all the old rules and then just wipe everything clean and then set their own standards. Discussion that we have, for example, about Bitcoin, that I don't understand it, but that doesn't make it right or wrong. But this is what it is. Bitcoin is here to stay. We like it or dislike it, it's here to stay. And I decided to write that show. It was quite contemporary. I did it. It was very well received. I think when I did the exhibition in RGVR, I got about 700, 800 people that attended the talk. And again, that gave me the reassurance that I'm on the right path. This is something that what I'm doing, some people might find it valuable, and I hope I can grow it to eventually become I don't know, maybe we're talking 30 years time, and then I'll be doing I don't know, I need to choose a date, the November Gala or something like that. Maybe some rapper with some weird tail or something. Yeah. So so this show, so the show that I did also was quite important. I'm not necessarily limited by because I do believe that, I mean, also coming from my background, that I'm from Colombia, and living and growing up in certain realities, especially when you migrate out of a country that was considered once a failed state, and you migrate and you see the restrictions, and then you understand that when you come to a place like Hong Kong, which is, I mean, this place, I'm actually, probably you guys can relate, I'm playing homage to a city that is home. For me, Hong Kong is home. And I really want to present respect to a city that has given me pretty much everything. Everything, the collection that I have is thanks to Hong Kong, not because I have a job here. It's because Hong Kong gave me that perspective, that diversity, that the fact that, I mean, if we look around, we are looking into a very diverse group of people, not necessarily geographically, but in mindsets. We have from artists, from galleries, from everywhere. And for me, sourcing information out of diversity is invaluable. And I collect artists pretty much from all over the world. The show that I have right now, I have artists. I mean, I'm including Adriana Oliver, she's from Spain. We have Sam Hyde from the United States, Liu Xinjiang from China, Julian Open from the United Kingdom, In Young Baek from Korea, Kine from Japan, and Lao Si from Hong Kong. And I constantly looking for artists all over the world, because something that I notice, especially with millennials, is technology have made culture a bit more uniform. And you see like the trends, the social trends are more, you see them replicating very fast all over the world. I mean, you can see it in politics, for example, the transformation of authoritarianism in many countries, or in styles or trends or everything. It goes very quickly thanks to the internet. And I really want to leverage on that. I want to keep my collection very diverse. I want to hear from people from all over the world. I want to hear all sorts of ideas from all sorts of backgrounds, because last week or 2 weeks when I saw Bitcoin going high, and I had this debate because I was the one that like a Bitcoin is up to makes no sense. It humbled me down, because it said like the fact that you don't understand it doesn't make it right or wrong. And then I said like, okay, I need to start listening to that perspective. And that's actually what I want to do with the collection. I want to do a collection that is diverse, that is open-minded, and that is just out there, looking, seeking, searching, and exploring, which is hopefully, if I have the stamina to keep going, I really want that probably in 40 years time I'll be doing another talk, and you guys will tell me like, was I right? And so like, yeah, you were totally nuts, but it made sense. So yeah, so this is it. So it's open, and so please wait for it, because I'm going to have more shows. We have been discussing several ideas now. I want to keep doing a regular program, writing shows and putting. It's very easy. Just put the JPEGs and the show is up. Super cheap. But it's not about the JPEG. It's not about the JPEG. It's about the story. And what I want to do is the stories. So if you guys, if I ever call you to have a coffee or a chat or a beer or something, post this because I want to hear some crazy idea from you guys and then write it down. So on that, I really want to say thanks to, so this is a dream that is coming true. This is an initiative. This is a drive that I cannot tame. I really want to do this. And I really want to say thanks to all of you. I mean, Arthur here, Arthur, we had a really great chat last Saturday talking, we were fixing the lights. Yeah. So I really want to say thanks to all of you, really, because you guys have been incredible in this during this thought process. I mean, this project really has your inputs. All this is every single person here is reflected here. And I also want to say thanks to the artists, because the reality is that without you guys, there will be no collection. You guys are the one that are really holding this together. So I really appreciate, I mean, I know that being an artist, it could be nice, it could be difficult, it could be challenging, and etc. But don't give up, because there's a lot of people believing in you. So, and I believe in you. I'm doing this because I'm promoting art, and without you guys, we won't have this. So I mean, you guys are fundamentals in the exercise. I also want to express my gratitude to one particular family, which is the Desart family here. Sylvie, Pascal, and the extended family, which is the gallery. Isabella, William. You guys have been, I mean, what can I say? You guys have been incredible, like really pushing me to pursue this madness, like not to give up. I mean, even dealing with my insecurities or etc. Really like do it. We need more people like you. We need more people that are willing to take risks and explore and present and confront and be out there. I mean, because the world needs people like this that are going to start questioning everything. They're questioning art more than just buying something that is going to hang in a wall and then hopefully accumulate value somehow. No, you need to make that value. So I really learned that lesson thanks to you guys. And I have to say that your influence over my personal life over my personal history is very profound. So really, thank you very much. And so yeah, and I want to close my speech. Now it's coming to an end. Yeah? Now we can go and have a drink. But I really want to finish with this quote that I wrote when I was deciding on the name for the collection. Right, it took me a while to figure out why I wanted to call it that way. And eventually it came up in my head, and is that creativity is truly infinite. And then the reason why I call it Divide by Zero. Yeah, so thank you very much. I also want to invite now Iman, which is the person who designed the little show. I don't, maybe I know that she wants to also tell her side of the story, how we came with this and now how we are seeing this, and also the little bit. This was debate. It took a long night. I fought for that.
Thank you. Actually, what can I say? More than what you said. Even if I'm half Colombian, I will try and make it shorter.
Right.
Actually, yeah, you said it. It's really, I think, all of us here have one virus, which is the virus of art, and Jacobo is probably our main source of that. How not to fall for his passion and trying to accompany him in that adventure. So I think Redfish will try and find ways to, funnily enough, build walls for his collection, but try to break them between the world of art and people around the world. So yes, this is a tribute to art everywhere, because everywhere is not affordable now to everyone, unfortunately. But in a way, we find solutions, we're human, we adapt, and I think that's the beauty of what's happening today. What can make some artists crazy and some other more introverts. I think there's a lot of things that's gonna come up that's gonna be interesting. And it's a bit more complicated than the JPEG, but if you find that building in Hong Kong, let me know, and you'll have a initial draft of a JPEG for any of your projects.
The JPEGs. I only said the JPEG, that's what I did.
Thank you.
Well, so really, thank you very much. I think we had like some food and some drinks, and yeah, and I think we're going to have some background music. But really, again, really, thank you very much. Thanks for the journey. Hold on. I have a very little surprise because today is the 1st of December, and where's my bag here? And since the holiday season is starting, and this is actually, I'm going to pay No, it's I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm going to kickstart the holiday season. So I ordered this thing like 2 weeks ago. No, thinking about this. So I know, Sylvie, I know that one Christmas tree wasn't enough for your house. You need to buy 2 Christmas trees. Don't ask me why. So since the holiday season is started.
I think my granddaughter. That's why.
Okay. So just to lift you up in the spirit. So yeah. There you go.
You are invited.
Now I can go to your house. That was the whole. There you go. Perfect.
Look how cute he is.
Yeah. So no, thank you very much. So with this, we close the speech, and certainly we kickstart the holiday season. So yeah, enjoy Christmas or any other holiday you celebrate. And thanks for coming. And now I need a beer. Yes. Perfect.